everybody, welcome back to my channel. I'm going to continue on today with the Jaclyn Hill and Morphe palette series. And I'm going to do a cranberry smoky eye pair with the red lip. Not so sure about this myself, so we'll see. If I have to, I can always take off the lip. So here we go. I am going to start off today with my eyelids already primed, by the way, with my Age Rewind concealer. And I'm going to go ahead and dip into my palette into the third shade over on the very top row. That's just a tan color. I'm going to go ahead and start by blending that into my crease and creating a transition shade. Like so. And then I'm going to go into the mustard color. It's the second row, first color. This is not really my cup of tea, but Jaclyn put it in the palette, so I decided I'd try it and fell in love, of course. Of course, it's Jaclyn. So I'm going to go right back into that crease with this mustardy color. Still trying to venture out and use a little bit more of this because I haven't really figured out what colors it goes well with at this point. So I'm blending this as a second transition color. The first one I used mainly to cover up some of this discoloration that I have in this eyelid from veins. I have them in this eyelid too, but that one's more pronounced. So this one will continue to help cover that up. And now I'm going to go into an orange shade. This is in the second row. It's going to be the fifth color over. Again, going right into the crease. And blending up, but not quite as far as I took those first two colors. We want to create a smooth transition from darkest to lightest shade on this outer edge. Of course, I'm going to keep the inner corner really bright, but on that outer edge, we want to kind of go from dark to lighter. You can use any fluffy brush to do this part. I like to use this Real Techniques. This is the Deluxe Crease Brush. I always forget what it's called. But I use this just about every day because it's so big. And I have really big eyelids. So if you have smaller lids, you may want to go with something smaller just so that you can layer those shades, especially if you're using a bunch of colors. So that's our base that we're going to be working off of. Now I'm going to go ahead and do my lid because I want to be able to blend out the crease of my, the line where my lid meets my crease without having any like harsh line there. So I'm going to go ahead and pick up the cranberry shade that has the metallics in it. It is on the third row, very last color to the right. Now when I use these shimmery shades in this palette, I like to use my finger because I think it applies better. I have a hard time with taking the time with a brush to pat it on, but if I use my finger, I have to pat it. That's just my preference. So I picked it up on my finger, and I'm going to start right here at the inner corner and just pat. And get a little more. A little bit more for the other side. So I'm patting about halfway over toward the inner corner. This is not necessarily a patting motion. Maybe I need to describe that a little better. It's more of like a drag. So I tap and drag, tap and drag. Okay. So as you can see, I've gone almost halfway, so almost to the center of my eye with that color. And now I'm going to go into a lighter color to highlight the inner corner. First, we're going to go in with the second shade in the second row in the palette. Also, we're going to use that same finger and same type of concept. So, tap, drag, tap, drag. And I want to bring it over to where it meets that cranberry color and then kind of blend them in together. Same thing for the other eye. And again, I am tapping and dragging, tapping and dragging. Now when I get to the middle, where I want that transition to be, I'm going to use 2 fingers. So I'm going to keep this lighter color on my middle finger. And with my ring finger, I'm going to grab that cranberry color. So, over here we're going to go tap, drag, tap, drag, tap, drag, tap, drag. So I'm alternating between the two so that I have a seamless transition there. I don't want it to look like I have a harsh line. And now let's blend it out. Okay, I'm going to put that away. And I'm going to grab another brush from Real Techniques. This one is the base shadow brush. It has a more pointed tip and it's a little fluffier. And I'm going to use that to kind of mark out my crease a little better. So there is a color that is a cranberry without a metallic in it. That is going to be on the 3rd row. And that is the 5th color over. So I'm going to grab that on this brush. Now this is key. You want to really define that crease with this color because this is going to be the color that sets off the whole look. So instead of going in like this, I'm going to come up from the top, look down, and tap into the crease. First making just a line on the outer corner, and I'm going to start working my way in toward the center. After I get that there, I'm going to start fluffing. So we want to concentrate all of our color on this outer corner and then blend in as the color kind of fades away on the brush. So that takes our color on the outer corner from dark to light all the way up toward the brow. Same thing, other eye. So it's easier to try to do it this way, and that's my natural instinct, but I have to really make myself focus and go straight in, looking down with that eye and tap, 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 focusing on that outer crease. And once that color starts to fade off, we go toward the inner and then fluff it up. Blend it out. Get rid of all the harsh lines. These colors look so vibrant in this bright light. Kind of blows me away. Okay. So that's going to be the majority of the color that we're going to use. Just going to make sure that I have everything blended out so I don't have any harsh lines anywhere. And then we're going to start doing the final touches. So I'm going to take my little, where'd she go? Somewhere out there. There it is. This is another small Real Techniques accent brush. First thing I'm going to do is get my Art Shape Tape, and I use the color Fair. I'm just going to barely open this a little bit, grab a little bit of concealer on it, and then I want to go right here in this dark area that I have. Not everybody has to do this, but I have a natural darkness there anyway, and especially if I'm using a red color, it makes it look terrible if I don't make sure that all that darkness is gone. So I'll put that concealer in there and then tap it out. Do you see what I just did? Don't do that. I left the colors on my fingers. So, I have an old blue towel here. I'm just going to wipe that off. Let's try that again. Clean fingers this time. That kind of lightens everything up there. Let's try that again. The non-cranberry variety looks much better. Okay, now I'm just going to wipe that extra concealer off of that brush. And with the same brush that I just used, I'm going to go into the first shade in the palette on the very top row to highlight with. So I'm just going to take that same brush and I'm going to go right in that inner corner. I'm doing this to kind of bring some more brightness in there. I like this color, this color a little better for highlighting my face than highlighting my eyes. But today I'm going to use it for my eyes. I'm actually going to go ahead and dip into that second shade because I like it better for highlighting. Just go right in there again. And I'm going to take that color and go right under my brow bone. And then back to my crease brush, wiping off anything extra on that blue towel that I used to wipe off my face with. And I'm just going to kind of blend back through that. Make sure I have no harsh edges anywhere. Very good. And then I'm going to go in with the Laura Geller Eye Calligraphy Classic Tip Liquid Liner in black. This is a felt tip liner. I'm going to use this on my upper lid, just in the lash line. Of course, if you want to be extra, you can always put a wing in there. I like to use my felt tip liners because they're so pointy. Helps me to get a thinner line. This one has just about had it, so I'm having some issue getting it to cover right there. Trying to match them up a little bit because I got a little heavy-handed on the left eye. So, okay. For the bottom lash line, I think I'm going to go ahead and go in with a brown. This one is on the bottom row. It's the 5th color over. And I'm going to use my little eyeshadow applicator, just these little sponge tips, to go ahead and put that liner on. So I'm going to start on this outer edge and go in toward the center. Again, starting on the outer edge so that we use most of the color toward the outer edge to avoid any extra darkness in the inner corner. Now I barely tapped into that shadow for that liner. So that we don't have a too harsh edge. And then I'm just going to dip back into that cranberry color that we used, the one without the metallics. Make it a little more cohesive. I'm going to put that right up next to the lashes. Like that. Let's throw on a little mascara. I think I'll use the Man-Eater. This is a sample that I have, but I have the full one and love it. Again, this is the Tarte Man-Eater mascara. The only real suggestion that I have with this is if you are not used to having these pointy plastic tips on your wand, be very careful when you get it close to your eye because you will stab yourself and it hurts. Almost used all this one, so going back in for a little extra there. A technique that I really like to use when I'm doing my mascara is I start on the outer edge and work my way in. Again, because I'm concentrating the majority of my product on the outer edge, which gives my lashes a more cat eye appearance instead of being more pronounced in the inner corner. And there's that. Let's throw on a little brow pencil and we'll be all done. So I'm going to use the Give Proof brow pencil. This is in shade number 4. And I'm sure you guys know by now that I don't do my brow pencil like everybody else does. So I'm going to start on this outer corner, work my way through. Don't forget those hair-like strokes. brush that bad boy out. A lot of people spend a lot of time on their brows, but not me. I mean, I have a lot of brows. Not too many, but I mean, I have enough. And really the only reason I use a brow pencil is to give me a little extra color. And we're all done. Now, if you're not as wild and crazy as I am, you could always pair this with a neutral colored lip. Let's see. A good one is the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit in Rebel Rose. I love this color. It's like a brownie mauve, so it goes with just about anything. The one that I'm wearing already is the Liquid Catsuit from Wet n Wild in, let's see, Missy and Fierce, I think. It's really good too, but of course it doesn't really necessarily go with this look, but I like it. Let's see. And another really good one is this Almay. Ignore my CVS sticker. This is the Almay Smart Shade Butter Kiss in the color Red Light Medium. I really like this stuff. I have about 4 or 5 shades of these, and they're more of a gloss than a lipstick, but they are just wonderful for throwing something on, not really having to focus on making sure that your lines are perfect and everything's smooth, and you know, it's just a good all-around lipstick. This would be really pretty with this eye look because it would bring out the orangey red and not necessarily overpower. So I believe that's going to be all for us today. Thank you guys so much for watching again. We're going to have another video in this series coming up soon, and I really appreciate you taking your time out of your day to spend a little time with me. If you have any questions, please feel free to list those below in the description, in the comments box, and I'll see you soon. Thanks so much for watching.